Good evening, Norcal Carters. It is Monday, April 11th. Yeah, April 11th. And tonight is our recap show for the events that have taken place over the past couple of weeks. So if you want to join the studio tonight, we can PM you a link and you can join the studio if you raced at one of the past events. Give me a moment here. So, for example, we have a couple of guests on tonight that raced KPX this past weekend. Davis had a club race last weekend. Sonoma had an event. Prairie City has events. Pretty much any Northern California track, Reno, Medford, Central California Kart Racing Association. If you're racing and you want to talk about it, ask us how you can join the show. So without further ado, we have a repeat guest on. And let's bring up Travis Mitchell. Travis, thank you for joining us again.
Yeah, no problem.
So you're fresh back from the UK or England or Great Britain or whatever they call that island over there.
There's a bunch of names for
it. So how was your trip?
It was fun. We got lucky with the weather, which is pretty rare for England. The day before we got there, it was flooding. The whole time we were there, it was pretty much sunny, apart from like 2 days. And the day after we left, it was snowing. So we got lucky with the weather.
Oh my God.
Nice.
I know.
Yeah, very good. So thank you for joining us again. And for those that don't know who you are, give us a quick, who's Travis Mitchell?
So I'm from England, raced over there for quite a few years. I started when I was 9. I started when I was 8. And I'm 18 now, so it's been, like 10 years. Moved over here, started racing at Prairie City. Now started racing, KPX, and then hopefully, keep on moving up.
All right. So for Prairie City and KPX, what engine package are you running?
So now it's called the Pro 100. So I raced the 2-stroke, which is the Pro 100, and the Senior 206. So yeah, senior in both classes.
So you're running double duty?
Yep.
All right. And what chassis are you on?
For the 2-stroke, it's called an AK USA, which is, it's used to be like, it used to be a Mad Croc. So they changed the names. And then now for the 206, it's a Birel.
Birel.
Yep.
Not Birel?
I guess, I don't know.
That's always the question. How do you pronounce Birel? Birel.
Yeah. Is it Birel? Is it Birel? Is it Birel? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. And next up, we'll bring up Frank Chavez. Frank, you're new to our show. We haven't had you on before. No. So tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Frank Chavez. Just started outdoor karting last year. First started in a tag, but now I moved to the 206 full time in the Grand Masters class. Don't even have a full year in the 206 yet. But
so you just started outdoor karting last year?
Yes. I was doing indoor K1 speed, and then I decided, last year I got my first 206, but I had a tag before that, but only 1 or 2 races and didn't even finish them.
Got it. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. And you said you run the 206 Masters class or Grand Masters?
Grand Masters, and sometimes I'll run the Masters, but full-time the Grand Masters.
All right. So that's 206. That's the Briggs engine. What chassis are you on?
Birel.
All right. So we got Birel and we got Birel. Now, the Birel's a good kart for the 206 stuff. They're pretty easy to drive.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see here. So you were at, Travis was at KPX, but you were at both KPX and the Blue Max Club race.
Yes.
So you'll be able to give us some race recaps from both weekends.
Should be able to.
Perfect. All right. And then next up we have Phil. You ready?
I think I'm ready, but it's not coming in.
Well, you're on. Well. You're live.
You hear me?
Let's see how good your connection is since we couldn't test it earlier.
Well, I had to eat. I have to have a job, so sorry.
You have to what?
I have a real job, so I'm sorry.
Oh, you have a real job. There you go. All right, we might ask you to have to move around the house to find a better connection because you're breaking up quite a bit.
I think I might have to. I'll come back.
You'll come back. Okay. I'm going to drop you and then you come back on and you can tell everyone who Phil Hand is.
What?
All right, Ashley.
Hey, Norcal.
What do we have going on the next couple of weeks?
All right, so we got our How to Get Into Karting series that's coming up next weekend. Then we got our junior show. I'm reaching out to the juniors this week to get them the guest show info and stuff this week. We're working on our mom's show. We're working on some other stuff in the works, but we're not going to get into May yet because we got to get through April.
We have to get through April. Yeah,
we have to get through April.
And like Ashley said, next week we're going to have the How to Get Into Karting live stream. We're going to have Xander Clements from Kart Chaser on. We'll have James McMahon on from Kart Pulse. We'll have Lisa Caceres on from Race Karts Inc. And we'll have Mike Wolden on, who's also a Norcal Masters driver in the Briggs class. He's been doing it for about a year. So we have 1 or 2 more spots available. So if you think you have a point of view that would help the new person into the sport, send us a message. We'll get you on the show. So, that'll be next Monday. We'll start off. And I imagine that one may actually break into more episodes. But as of right now, we just have it, starting next Monday and kicking off and see how it goes. And Grandmasters, we have Frank on tonight, but Grandmaster drivers or Master drivers, a couple of you have grabbed me at the track and said, hey, we want a Master show. Why are you giving all the attention to the juniors? And honestly, those juniors are just out hustling you. They're calling their friends. They say, hey, we want to be on. Do you want to be on? They get all their little
they're coming in
drivers
teams, guys.
together, and then they're coming like 5, 6, 7 guests deep. So Grandmasters, talk to your friends. We're not ignoring you. We'll get you on the show. And if we have to, we can kick the young kids off, do strictly adults, and we'll do it over beverages. And I don't know, we'll make it fun for the adults. So I don't care. This is everybody's show. So that's my call out for the Masters and the Grandmasters. So let's see here. Well, let's jump into it. So right now we have Chavez, we have Frank. They both were racing out at Davis. So for those that are not familiar with Davis, this is the track, the Blue Max Kart Club. And this is located in Davis on Pole Line Road. And you guys actually ran the track backwards this weekend. So I'd like to get your input on that layout. Because I personally, I've only driven it backwards in a shifter. And I loved it. I thought it was so much fun. Because going into the turn 1, I don't know if, let's see here. We'll try that. Can you guys see my cursor?
Yep.
Yeah. So going into this new turn 1, I guess that's really not the turn 1, but that's what I'm calling it. Going backwards, I mean, you just feel the whole track drop away, and it's a lot of fun. So, what did you guys think?
Yeah, that corner, there was a lot of, I guess you could call it like angle or the whole car. It kind of it flows with the track. Like you turn in and it's really tight, and the car, it just, would you call it an angle or like a camber of the actual track itself? Yeah,
it almost hooks the cart.
Yeah, that's what it does.
Yeah, no, it's I prefer it backwards. It's sketchy when you get to the bottom of that little hill, trying to make the left-hander going up. But so do you prefer it backwards or the normal route?
I've never been. It was my first time ever at that track this weekend. So
it is. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
So clockwise for you is the only normal that you know?
Yeah, so far. I went there on Saturday for the first time, tested, qualified, and then raced.
Nice. Frank, how about you? Have you raced it both ways?
Yes. And I prefer it backwards.
You prefer it backwards as well?
Yeah.
So being that you've run it both ways, what did you like about it going clockwise versus counterclockwise? Clockwise being to us backwards.
Going up the hill and then coming down, seemed to be a good passing spot, at least for me. That's where I made most of my passes. And it just seemed to flow better also. I didn't think I was going to like it, but when I showed up and practiced it and got used to it, then I really liked it. I thought it would flow really good.
Okay. So are you talking about this section here, going down the hill here?
Okay.
Yeah, going uphill and making the right-hander going down. That was a good place,
Yep.
a good passing spot.
Got it. So you felt that was a good passing spot for you. And then what did you think about this area? I don't really know what to call it. I mean, Phil stands right here, so I guess technically this is turn 1, but so turn 1, 2, 3, 4, turn 5.
They were calling that the snake pit?
Yes, they do. Yep.
Yeah, right. So, except for the club race where I jumped into the Masters main and started last, and in the last lap of I went into the barrier and bent my axle. So,
got it.
Wasn't a good. So, because the club races only do 2 a heat and a main for a Blue Max. So I wanted to do a few extra laps. I jumped into the main and the Masters, and everything was going well to the last lap. Yeah, went for a pass in there and a little bit of contact, and I went wide and hit the barrier and bent the axle.
And at the club race, how many were in your class? And then how many were in your class for the KPX event?
Club race, there were 8.
Okay.
And then for the 8. And then for the KPX, there were 13.
Okay. In both days, you primarily ran Grandmasters 206.
Yes.
Yeah. So for those that are listening, that's going to be the Briggs and Stratton. LO stands for local option. 206 is the CC 4-stroke engine. So it's a race to 49 miles an hour. At least that's how I like to say it. Any other highlights, Frank?
It was both the club and the KPX. They put on a good show, and everything seemed to go smoothly. There weren't many big crashes both weekends. It seemed everything was pretty safe, and I enjoyed it a lot. Wait for the next race.
Yeah, I always enjoyed going to that track when I was racing because I kind of had my habit of going to Nugget Markets down the street. And, I'd get my sandwich, I'd go out to the track, and everything was kind of convenient right there. And Travis, how about you?
Yeah, I definitely like the track. It was fun. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be as tight. I didn't know if it was like bigger or not, but it's very tight in some spots, and then it widens up like that up that hill that you guys were on about. It gets so wide, so it's really good for overtaking right there. And then there's the other spot. So the hairpin after basically like the first 2 corners, that's pretty tight. that was pretty sketchy in the 2-stroke flying into that at like 60. It was but it was really, really fun. Yeah,
I was actually really surprised with we'll play a video here in a moment that you sent over, but I was really surprised they didn't use the short shoot or the cutout on the starts. That may sent everyone into the hairpin. So I mean, let's see. Let's queue up. Let's see if I can queue up the right video here.
it. He's gone.
Damn.
So there's the first lap. That was the 206 class. So on my end, I can't really tell who's who. Were you first or second in that video?
Towards there was an overtake. You can't really see it. So I started in third, and then on the start, because I was on the inside, I got straight to second, and then I overtook Bowden in the bit that you can't really see.
Okay,
so
and that's Bowden Barnwell?
Yeah, Bowden, yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a bit blurry, so it's hard to tell, but yeah, it was a good start.
For the club race, we were supposed to take the shortcut, and the kid carts went out first, and they went through the hairpin. Close were next. They were supposed to take two, and
Are we losing Frank, or is that all of us?
No, I think that's just Frank.
That's just Frank. All right, fill in the blanks, Travis.
I'm wondering if it's going to come back though.
Yeah, I don't. If he can, hopefully he can hear us. But that's weird. He was hardwired too. And I know we're not going to have Phil Hand back tonight. So he's gonna try to chime in next week when he has a better connection. But so hopefully we'll get that worked out. And then let's see. I'm gonna remove Frank for a second.
All right. And we have a comment. And it says they tried the short shoot once during the club race. It didn't work out. The info didn't really get to everyone clearly. So at the club race.
Oh, at the club race. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Frank, are you back?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what happened.
Did you lose us, or
I don't know if you guys caught my story or not, but
no, we didn't get any of it.
No.
Let's see. You still there?
Hello,
Frank? You there?
I can hear you, but it seems like my Wi-Fi must be cutting out. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Are you on a Wi-Fi connection?
Great. Side note, I do have a master's driver hitting us up now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Send them the link.
All right.
Were they at a race?
You know who that is?
All right. Frank.
So everyone's probably
All
going,
right.
hey, say
Do
something.
we have another Travis Mitchell video?
We do. We have the last lap. We have the last lap from a couple different angles. And then we're going to hang tight with Frank here. Hopefully we get the connection back. Let's see. Yeah. Last lap, Travis Mitchell. So it looked like Travis, you got the pass coming down the hill.
Yeah, it was so tight. it was so close. Oh man. But yeah.
And what were you thinking that whole time? Were you just like, please?
Well, I had a strategy actually. So and it kind of worked out because Chase was behind us. And it was me and Bowden, so we had a bit of a gap. So instead of in the race, sometimes you try and make a few moves, see if you're going to pull away, or at least just, be in first for the last few laps. but I saw that he's pretty quick, so I didn't want him to make it like a 3-way battle. So I just kept pushing Bowden the whole time, and kind of while I was sat behind him, I was able to kind of plan out where I'm gonna make like the move on the last lap. And I was going to either try going into that, I guess you call it the snake pit. I was either going to try going into that, but I didn't get a good enough run. So then the next spot, he kind of defended a bit going into the right-hander before where you just saw me overtake. And then when he did that, I'm like, okay, I just need to go a little bit wide. And then my exit had to be really, really tight because I knew he was going to defend again for the next corner. Yeah. So I just hooked it really tight in. And by the time he could come over, I was already there. And then... yeah, I was like right next to the grass. It was close. I think the other video you can tell a little bit better how close it is.
And Phil had a front row seat to all of this, friends. But
that's right. I think we have the other last lap here for you. Ready?
All right.
I don't have sound.
Whoa. That was a good one.
Yeah, a bit better quality.
That was, yeah. So now we're that was on the right under the canopy, right where you enter the track then. Or actually, how did you guys do that? Did you enter the track and then make a hard hairpin?
It's hard to explain without my mouse.
So you went under. So you guys started under the grid here, right? And then just made a hard hit left-hander.
Yeah.
Wait, where are you about?
Oh, you guys don't see my map. Sorry.
Oh yeah. No.
Maybe that would help.
Okay, there we go.
So right here, you're on the grid.
Yeah.
And then you're making a hard left coming out.
Yeah, that's when you come out. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So you had your fan club standing right there with the camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing I really noticed, like in those videos, though, I like how KPX did the whole banner thing across the tower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another thing about the track, you can see, like almost everyone can see the whole track no matter where you're standing. So as a spectator, it's pretty cool to watch the races there as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because you can be down here where the grandstands are. You can be here under the covered grandstands. Over here is even kind of cool. You can't see this area too much from up here, but then you're actually higher than the whole track.
Yeah, that's where I was going to say. That's where I watch from the hill over there.
From up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a lot of good viewing angles. You probably don't want to be on this road here. I've seen over the years guys go through the barriers.
Oh, geez.
But yeah, so that's Davis. So Frank, let's catch back up with you here. So try to pick up where you left us.
I was trying to tell the story how on the club race we were supposed to use a short chute on the start.
Yeah.
The kid starts went first, and they completely went through the cones and went through the hairpin. And then second were the clones, and they did the same thing. And then after that, they were like, okay, nobody can figure out. Let's just use the hairpin. So, and I thought KPX was going to use a short chute, but they also we used the hairpin at the start. So,
were there any incidents in there on the starts?
I not that I can remember. And seniors had the most karts, and if they made it through there, that was pretty impressive. They were right after me, so I didn't get to watch the starts of the seniors. So, but it seems like the videos they made it through there most of the time, if not every time.
Yeah, awesome. I really like that layout when they run it backwards or clockwise. It's a lot of fun. And then maybe it's because I've been at Davis since '95 and ran it the same direction for all those years, and it's like, oh, and then you mix it up, it's like, oh, it feels like a whole different track.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Says that pass was the same spot Frank mentioned earlier.
Yep, coming down the hill.
Yeah, so Travis did it coming down the hill. I usually did it up the hill before we make the right hand.
Oh, yeah.
Down the hill.
Yeah.
Travis made it coming down the hill.
Yeah. All right. And then Josh said, it's okay, Frank. Fast guys have slow Wi-Fi. He also had issues when he was on the show, too.
Yeah, but he was trying to eat a burrito or something.
All right.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough when we don't have the time to get. It's like we did the sound check, we did the video check, everything was fine. Then you're, a little bit in your story, then you just freeze up. It's like, well, is that on my end? Because when I previewed the videos earlier, they were pretty fluid. They didn't pixelate at all. And then we're playing it back. It's like, well, is that my software? And then are we losing Frank because of my software, or are we losing Frank because of his Wi-Fi? But now you're back. I'm almost speculating it has to do maybe with the videos I uploaded.
All right, Frank. So you're talking about the Grandmasters class. Who are you racing in the Grandmasters class? Because that's a newer class.
Yeah. Right? Paul Boer, Tom Hagen, and Chris Britton, Laren Cisco, Mike Allison, Scott Deselm. It's the same group of guys. Everybody is so respectful, and we figured out how to start now, not cause a big pile up. So after Donald gave us a good talking to, so yeah, it's fun. It's the same guys, and it's fun racing against all those guys.
And then you also race in Prairie City too, right?
I consider that my home track. My car basically stays there when I'm not using it for Blue Max or anywhere else. So yeah, basically my home track.
And what's your racing schedule look like for the rest of the year?
All the Prairie City club races. I can't make the KPX ones in Reading and Reno because I already have prior plans, and then IKF in Reno on my plans. So pretty busy.
Yeah. That's always the tough thing. I mean, you look at the racing calendar, and I know the tracks and the promoters are always trying to, avoid other clubs or events. And then you have, karting as a motorsports fan. So you're trying to stay away from any big event in Sonoma, like the drag cars or NHRA and Indy cars that are still going up there. I don't know this year. And yeah, usually you run out of weekends. And as a racer, I mean, I think all of us would love to race every single weekend, but there's just not enough. There's not enough time. And if there's time, there's probably not enough money. So Travis, what about you? Oh, did I lose him?
Oh, Travis. Yeah. Here we go.
I was just about to bring him up to the big screen. Travis, how's the rest of your racing season look?
So all of the KPX races apart from Reno, because my dad is getting married that weekend, so don't want to miss that.
Party.
Yep. I'll use that as my drop up round.
Can't he reschedule the wedding?
Right.
No. The Prairie City races in the 2-stroke, the 4-stroke, and then maybe a few other races, here and there. Maybe
we'll see you at Sonoma with the 100cc.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, that's another. Yep, Sonoma. We definitely want to try and do Sonoma because everyone says it's super fun. I don't know how or why I've not been there yet, but definitely want to do Sonoma. So yeah.
Very cool. So both of you have full race calendars for the year.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah, Reno. People, if you're listening to this, make the trip over the hill. If you've never been to Reno, it's such a fun track.
Isn't there a big race going on there this year, Jason?
What's that?
Isn't there a big race going on there this year, Jason?
Yeah, I think there's something called the IKF Grand Nationals going on.
Mm-hmm.
But since you're in charge of everything, you have to tell me what the date is.
Well,
it's either October or September 11th. September 11th or October 11th.
I'm pretty sure it's October 11th. I had it right here. There's also the Road to the Nationals, where you can win. If you win the championship, you get an IKF entry for the Nationals.
That's right. Cole mentioned that last week.
He did.
Yeah, the 3-race series that's part of their club series. They picked out 3 races and said, this is the road to the Nationals. And that's right. Good job, Ashley.
Wow. Back in my day, those used to be called punches.
That's punches. Everyone's like, what is that?
So
yeah, that should be a lot of fun. The ICAP Nationals at Reno. And again, if you guys are listening and you've never been to Reno, just put it on your list. I have to double check their calendar. They usually do a July or August night race under the lights. The Rick Jerome Memorial. That one's always an annual event for them. Honestly, I've never made it up for the night race for that event. But Kinsman Kart Club used to do a night race. That was a lot of fun. I raced under the lights in Vegas one year. That was a lot of fun. So if you've never done lights, it's
yeah. I've been. I was at a Kinsman night race one time.
Yeah,
it makes the kart feel faster.
It does. Yeah, and it really it really changes your whole perception of the track, because you lose a lot of your reference points that you take for granted during the day.
Yeah.
So you have some night racing experience, Travis.
Not a crazy amount, but it's my favorite to race. I don't know. I love racing. I used to, in England, it would get darker. At least it would be testing and it would be dark. A few different tracks. And then Vegas, I think it got dark and would, where else? There was a track I came one summer a long time ago. It might have been Dixon or I don't even know, but it was at night. And I don't know if they have lights or not, but I just remember it being night. So,
yeah, for a couple of years, Dixon would rent lights for the, I think, July, August races, maybe September, but for sure July, August, because it was so damn hot.
Yeah, that's when it was, because I came for the summer because I didn't live here. I would come and visit my family, so I did that race, and it was fun.
Yeah, Kinsman always has that screwed up schedule because we come out of the winter. Like, for whatever it is, karters, I don't want to race in the rain. But, well, not all karters. Norcal karters don't want to race in the rain. SoCal karters don't even know what rain is. So, yeah, we never race in the rain. The clubs don't put, because they know they're going to get like 3 people to show up. Or, it's like, oh, I don't want to buy rain tires, whatever the excuse is. Yeah, so and then the bugs would come out after the rains. Those little no-see-ums and just eat the shit out of you. Excuse my language. And then so Dixon said, all right, we're not going to do races when the no-see-um season's out because it's miserable for everybody. I mean, it's like, what kind of bug flies in your helmet when you're doing 60, 70 miles an hour and can still bite you? Like, they can.
Yes.
The little no-see-ums. Yeah. Yeah, and then they rolled into the summer, and then they started doing the night races, and those were a lot of fun. I liked it because everyone would, not everybody, but a lot of the people had fun with it. And they trick out the carts, and they do like their little LED lights or flashing lights or the valve caps that would glow in the dark. So people had fun with it. Yeah, people would have fun with it, or they do glow sticks around the axle. Which actually, in hindsight, none of that sounds safe. But so what else we got? We got anything going in the comment sections here?
Nope.
Anybody
in the comments?
Let's see. We have Michael Walden. He's going to join us next week for the How to Get into Karting series. Let's see.
Oh, here we go. All right, our friend Gear Nuts. Frank and Travis, how did you end up in kart racing? Was it for the money, fame, girls, or something else?
Definitely the girls. Of course. Definitely the girls.
Fame and the girls.
Yeah. Frank, it was fame and the girls for you?
Oh, my God.
Well, we're all sitting here going, where are the girls? Where's the umbrella girls?
That's funny. All right.
I think Travis, it must be for the money then, right?
Yeah.
Because Frank used up fame and girls, so you must have just signed up just for the money.
I'll use up something else.
Hey, he's got a girlfriend, man.
Yeah. Maybe it works.
That's funny. All right. I think Chavez has answered this question before, but Frank, how did you get into karting from? I know you just started a year ago.
Well, I used to race motocross.
Okay.
And it's been 20 years since that. And then I used to go to K1 with my daughter, and we've been doing that for 10 plus years. And my coworker, Bob Emer, so you guys probably know him, he works KPX, and I went out there to Blue Max one time. He was there, and he introduced me to outdoor karting, and then I said, okay, I'll try it. And now I'm hooked. So.
Nice.
Yep.
All right.
Is Bob, is he one of our regular corner workers?
Yes, with KPX,
okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then his buddy is, if it's who I think it is, I race against him. I always forget his name. Kart number 69, CRG.
Jack Matthews?
What is it?
Jack Matthews?
No. But Bob's a bigger guy, right? Always smiling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why can I not think? I always forget the other guy's name. And his name always comes up in the podcast because Gear Nuts knows who he is because he helps Gear Nuts out at Dixon. So Gear Nuts, type his name in, please. It's like it's completely escaping me. Like right. I can't remember the guy's name, but I remember he helped out Gear Nuts at Dixon. Go figure.
Johnny
Cope.
Somebody said Jack. Somebody said Johnny. So we're missing Jose.
I don't know why.
Jose and Jim Beam.
Yeah, Johnny Cope.
All right, Travis, are you racing PC this weekend?
Yeah, for the Saturday race. I wonder what's gonna. I mean, it says it's gonna rain. I wonder what's gonna happen.
Hope not.
Yes.
That was the question on the Prairie City page today.
Yeah.
And everyone's waiting for Donald to make an answer.
Well, they asked rain or shine, and he said shine.
Shine. They don't race in the rain. But last year, in all fairness to Donald, there was one race I know he did cancel it, and I think he canceled it on a Thursday. So people had plenty of time to kind of plan the rest of the weekend. So he's usually pretty good about letting people know well in advance if they're going to cancel it or not.
I don't think he will.
I want to see the percentage right now.
It was 40 before I got on here.
Well, if I don't unload, I have a truck full of kart parts. So if I don't unload it, it's 100% chance of rain. Because it's just every time I have stuff outside that can't get wet, it rains. If you want rain in August, just let me do a buyout, leave it in my truck, it'll rain.
And then we have for you, Travis, the skies will part. Oh, that's funny.
Pretty good. We have a Moses on our show here.
Oh, that's funny. All right, what else do we got?
What's Tri-C if Donald cancels?
Oh, there is a race at Tri-C this weekend.
Tri-C down south?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Josh, that's SoCal Carters. That's a different website.
Down here. All right. I think that's it. I did have a funny story about how Frank and I met. Do you want to hear about how Frank and I met?
Does Josh know the story?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So Frank, he had this, we were at Prairie City and he was pitted next to Josh, right? And he had this box and he was like, oh, I'm just going to write Chavez on it because nobody else here is, that's only me, right? And I like turned my head super fast, whip flash or whatever, and it caught his attention. So he looked at me and I looked at him and I was like, I'm a Chavez. And he was like, what are the chances? And I was like, yeah, my last name was Chavez before I got married. And he's like, oh. So then he went from writing just Chavez on the box to F Chavez on the box, just in case A and F got mixed up. But
that's a good call.
My last name is Chavez, but it was funny. he was looking around like no one else is Chavez, and I'm just sitting there all quiet. But we are not cousins.
You're not cousins.
We're not cousins. And then later on, he tells Josh, "Oh, you married a Chavez?" And Josh looked at him like, "Did you hear what he just said?"
Well, since we're talking about Frank,
yeah.
Frank, how do you explain karting to your non-karting friends?
Yeah, I encourage people to try it because get out there, and everybody that does loves it. So I tell my coworkers, and I brought a few people, and they tried the rentals, but I haven't got anybody else to dive into it. But it's just everybody. I brought my daughter out there and my coworker with a couple of his kid and her friend, and they loved it. But not everybody has the time and the effort that goes into it, spending all the time, weekends, basically, yeah. So.
Yeah. When you start competing, I don't think people really allocate the proper time for prep and everything else, unless you have the budget to do a complete arrive and drive program,
right?
Where you show up at 7 o'clock with your helmet, and then someone else takes care of everything.
You can do that with at Sonoma with Ron White Racing and stuff, and he has arrive and drive.
Yeah. So Travis, for the question for you, when you're talking to somebody, one of your friends in karting or one of your fellow drivers, when you're explaining something about karting, do you make sound effects or hand gestures?
I probably make hand gestures.
You make hand gestures.
Sound effects? I don't think so.
You don't think so? Or you're not sure?
I'm not sure.
All right, we're going to have to get a camera on you next time we see you talking at the track.
Right. But everybody does the this and then the this and all that stuff.
Yeah. Even while I'm in the car, someone's behind them like, let's push.
From across the pits, just by their gestures or their sound effects.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the cart doing? Oh, it's going. And it's like, okay, well, what is that?
That's funny.
Let's see here. Oh, there you go. You already grabbed that one.
So we got gear nuts. I've had a friend who rates shifters explained it's the closest thing you can get to formula without driving formula.
Yep.
Interesting. I would agree. Michael Walden. It's a lifestyle, definitely. All right.
Let's see here. So, Travis, away from karting, what is your superpower or super skill? Away from karting.
Jeez.
Or what is it's like, what is your other passion besides racing? Are you like a world-class kazoo player?
No, I don't play kazoo. Damn.
Did you raise $10,000 koi fish?
Now I'm realizing we spend a lot of time racing. Wow. Outside of racing, I don't know. I'm just being around family and working. I mean,
you're like, away from racing, I'm on iRacing, and
no, I've really wanted to. I have for Christmas, I got like a little setup, so now I have like a sim type of thing, but it's not on a PC, so I can't do the whole iRacing thing. It's on an Xbox, but that would be fun. iRacing looks fun.
So
I've done it one time.
What do you do for a living?
Me?
Yeah.
I started a detailing business when I was 16. So when I'm not racing, I'm usually detailing cars and making money. And
all right.
Yeah. And 2 weeks, actually, I go to do my real estate test. So hopefully I'll have employees running the detailing thing. And then I pass the real estate, and then I'll have more time to spend racing.
For real estate, look up a test called Power Prep 700. Memorize it. You'll pass, no problem.
Yeah, I have a cram course on Saturday and Sunday, and then the test on Monday. So the cram course is basically it's similar to what you do it, and even if you don't pass, you get your money back and you do it again, and you pretty much pass. So
yeah, and then there's Career Compass. Look into that one too.
All right, Frank.
So Frank, go ahead, Ashley.
Your question was, what was the first one? Oh, do you make sound effects when describing karting?
Not that I noticed. Maybe I do, but I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
And away from racing, what is your superpower? What is your hidden skill that no one at the track would know you have?
I don't know if it's a skill. I play poker, but I haven't been much since I started racing full time. Yeah.
Like, were you on ESPN type poker?
One of my hobbies. No, not that big. Just small stuff like local casinos when I go to Vegas. But card is taking up all the time.
Nice. So you're a poker player.
Yeah.
See, everyone has a passion except for Travis. He likes to detail cars in race.
That's a passion too.
Yeah, there's something to be said about working hard.
I used to do sports, and then as soon as school, I don't know, as soon as I left school, you probably know when you were a kid, you did all those things, and then you leave school, and then you go and do other things. It sucks, but whatever.
I didn't start racing until I was 19, so I didn't have the distraction of racing when I was in school.
Josh wants to go to Vegas, Frank.
When is Super Nats? That's not on my schedule.
Oh,
Super Nats is
November.
December, right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't really know. I think it hasn't been announced yet.
Yeah, that's a good
now
question.
I'm gonna feel dumb. All right, in the comments, when is Super Nats?
When is Super Nats? Or
drop the date. All right.
It used to be the week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh, they haven't announced it yet.
Yeah,
wow,
that's
I'm surprised.
what I was thinking. They haven't announced it yet.
Yeah. I'm really surprised by that. But I mean, the big news is, right, in the motorsports world, Formula One is coming to Vegas.
Formula One might be taking up all that space in the room of Vegas.
Well, they're definitely taking up the Vortex track. They'll probably use it for a parking lot. And it was within a week of what Vortex tries to. Vortex always tries to do their Vegas last week of October, like right around Halloween, first week of November, tradition for the past few years.
Yeah.
So, and I think F1 was coming close to that as well. And then if you look at the layout, the proposed layout for the track, it goes right around the Vortex track.
Yeah. All right. Gear Nuts had a clarification for our sound effects. Is the inside of your helmet quiet when you're racing, or do you yell all sorts of shit? I'm assuming is what you tried to say.
No, I talk in my head. That's it. I don't think I talk out loud.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Travis?
Yeah, the same. You just plan things out in your head. I think in England, when I used to know the tracks really well, sometimes I would like sing because I knew I was on like autopilot on the track, so I would just sing, and then I realized I probably wasn't the best singer, and I probably should pay more.
What would you sing? Like Olivia Rodrigo or something?
Who knows? It's been a while. I would just sing, have a good time.
I did know one guy that would like put in headphones, like, and then put on his like head sock and helmet and all that stuff. And I'm like, what are you listening to in there? What's what's going on in there? All right.
So what did he listen to?
Another.
Ashley, what did he listen to?
Oh, I don't know. It was like music and stuff, but I'm like, how are you listening to this while you're?
It's like Jewel or something.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't on his iPod. All right. Question. Frank is one of the most consistent and talented racers we see at Prairie City. Oh, take a bow. And I predict that Frank will win Grandmasters on Saturday.
Thank you.
You heard it here.
Thanks, Tim.
You heard it here. We're all rooting for you.
A lot can happen, but we try our best. That's all we can do. There's some things out of our control, but try our best. But I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right.
I have a question for both of you that's pretty relevant, and it's we'll start with Frank because you're already you're going to be on the big screen here now. From day one in karting to now, how has your karting experience changed, or how has your mindset with karting changed?
Well, a lot has changed since I didn't know anything about the karting motors and any of that. And I mean, I got the tag and then a 206, and I didn't know anything about those motors. And with the help of Donald and Jerry with the tool, got me familiar with that. But the mind it's changed. It has changed a lot. Trying to be more consistent instead of trying to do one fast lap. It's just consistency is what I learned is wins more than just one flying lap. So trying to be more consistent is probably how my mind has changed the most.
Got it. Travis? Right. Oh, real quick. David Bixler's chiming in. What's the age for Grandmasters?
50. So you turned 50 this year.
Bixler, you're not running Grandmasters, dude. You and I are going to man up and we're going to run senior. If Veloz can run senior, we can run senior.
Well, he did say he's going to try and bust Chavez's winning streak this weekend.
That's right.
He was fast in the senior when he did that one race. He was quick. So,
So same question for you, Travis.
What was the question again?
I don't know. That's why I phrased it that way.
Let me try and think.
So, karting. How has your experience or mindset changed from when you first got into karting, and being that you got into it 10 years ago as a kid to now? How have things changed for you? And not necessarily just a development as a driver, but more of your mindset and your approach.
I think so it got to the point where it's very professional, and then you think with professional it has to be super, always serious. And then I think now you can still be a professional and you can still be good, but just it's still a fun thing that we do. So now it's just enjoy all the moments and just have a lot of fun. And just because I'm out and I'm happy and doing all these things and I'm not in a big team tent or whatever, it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna be able to win still. It's just have more fun with racing.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, actually, I thought of that question when we had the mechanics on, because I try to remember myself as a mechanic and how the first couple of years when I was working with customers as a mechanic, I was definitely the guy I was the asshole on the fence, like, if you can't pass them, crash them, get around them, etc. But I never even really drove like that. But as a mechanic, for some reason, I felt like you need to make stuff happen now. And then now it's like I look at it as I'm on the fence, like they're going to do whatever they're going to do. Like yelling or anything else on the fence isn't going to do anything for your driver. Like now it's in their hands. Let them go do their job.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about that question is like how things have changed over the years. And it's experience, right? It's maturity.
Yeah. But on the other hand, when the mechanics are kind of pushing you, that did obviously help with a few things. But yeah, you just got to remember as a driver to have a lot of fun. And like, you can still listen to when you come in, you can listen to what people have to say. And if, you did, one thing, or they need to change something else. I remember one of my mechanics, he would always, I think if I had like a Red Bull or a Coke or something, he'd always tell me no. The main thing you want to be in karting is you want to be consistent and you want to stay smooth. And if you're on this caffeine sugar high, you're not going to be very smooth or consistent. You're going to be going crazy with your hands and with your brain and everything. So he told me all these things and I listened, and now, yeah, you learn.
You learn. Yep.
And you have fun.
That's excellent. All right. Do you guys have any final thoughts, shout outs, anything, anybody you want to say what's up to before we start finishing up the show here? We'll start with Travis first to give Frank a minute.
Yeah.
Travis has done this before. All right, Travis. Shout outs, plug your team, your sponsors, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So again, thank you to my dad. He sets up the car. He does all the stuff that helps my whole family. They're always out there supporting me, which is super awesome. Jerry from Unleashed Power, he does the engine in the 206. He's a great guy. He helps a lot. So thank you to him. Tim, this new Step Up Karting, it's a new journey and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited. This week is going to be the first race kind of with them. And it's going to, I'm excited. So yeah, thank you to all those guys. And yeah.
Yay. All right. We'll see you this weekend in Prairie City.
Yep.
All right, Travis, have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
All right, Frank. Not you, Jason. Frank.
Of course, Donald Jr., Prairie City, he's been immense help all the time. I mean, I'm always asking him questions, and he's always there to help. And he's tremendous support. I couldn't be doing this without him because he's just great. And Jerry from Unleashed Power for the motors. Yeah, that's my support system.
Yay! Yeah, all right. Well,
hopefully it doesn't get rained out this Saturday. And
yes. Good luck this weekend, Frank. We'll be watching. Have a great race, and we'll be seeing you. Okay.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Good luck, Frank. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right.
Are you closing us out tonight? Since I'm on the big screen, you're closing us out.
Okay, well, I did find the dates for the race to the Nationals, Road to the Nationals. It's May 22nd is the first race, August 27th, which is a night race, and September, it just says September, no date. So, September 25th, I found it, September 25th. So that is the Road to the Nationals. If you are interested in any of that information, we'll be posting it on our Facebook page. Okay.
Perfect. Make sure you tag me in that.
Yes. All right. We're still looking for our number sequence of 0 to 60. If you are a kart number from 0 to 60, send us a pic.
A good pic.
A good pic for our countdown sequence. You can be featured in our countdown sequence.
And if you have a hobby of making videos, reach out to me.
Yes. If you like,
because we need a better countdown video.
Just a reminder, we got How to Get Into Karting coming up next weekend. We got our mom's show coming up in May. That's the only show I can talk about in May. And then I'm reaching out this week for our juniors show. I think that's all I have. So if you want to come on our show to talk about karting, let us know. Peace, Norcal.
All right. So that's it. Again, April 11th, 2022. That was our recap weekend. And if you guys want to find yourself on the show, guys or gals, we don't care, and you want to do a race recap, let us know. Again, we put out the request. We ask. So we're kind of leaving it up to you. If you want to come in and talk about a race you were at, this is your chance to do it. So those are going to be the race recap shows. The next couple of months, we're going to be pretty busy. So we'll see how we're going to squeeze in the recaps. But again, if we do open mic or open invitation, that's really what it is. And as Ashley mentioned, next week, I mean, really, really, really excited about this one. We are going to have the how to get into karting. So once again, we're going to have Xander Clements from Kart Chaser. He's going to be joining us. James McMahon from Kart Pulse will be joining us. Lisa Caceres from Race Karts Inc. will be joining us. And then we also have Mike Walden. He was chiming in the chat lines tonight. He's going to join us. We have 1 or 2 more spots open for that show. And again, it's probably going to turn into multiple episodes. But for next week, we're going to kick it off with 1 show. And we're looking for 1 or 2 more guests that can bring a unique perspective on how to get started in karting. So whether you're a new guy or a veteran, it doesn't matter. Just have a perspective. It sounds like we're going to try to get Phil Hand back on next week. He obviously has the perspective of a flagman. He's been around karting for a very long time. More recently, his daughter raced. So there's a lot of experience there. So that's what we're looking for. The whole point of Norcal Karters is to get more asses in the seat. So we will be kicking off that show next week, how to get started in karting. We're launching our resources page specifically with a how to get started in karting resource tab. So that will be an ongoing evolution. And just remember, if we all get 1 person into karting, we'll double by next year. Have a great night.